Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are taking a look at the recently released documentary, Aftershock. And stay tuned for our bonus story as we take a look at the history of the wonders of Life Pavilion. And I ask if you please are liking these videos to hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new video. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Aftershock. This movie was released on January 23rd of 2022. It was directed by Paula Eslett and Tanya Lewis-Lee. The production companies were Impact Partners, Malika Films, Good Gravy Films, and Just Films / Ford Foundation. And it was released by ABC News Studios, Omnix Collective, and Hulu. So in terms of the production, the film debuted at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival, and the film was also shown at the South by Southwest Film Festival on March 13th, 2022. In terms of the plot, Shanae Gibson and Amber Rose Isaac both died during childbirth from complications that were preventable. Their partners, Omari Maynard and Bruce McIntyre, come together with other fathers to fight for justice and build the communities of support. So this one's a pretty straightforward documentary. There's not much to talk about with this one. In terms of recommending the movie, I really like the movie because I think it was a great way to inform people about an issue that many people do not know about. I like the detail they went into it with the two different deaths and how they caused a response within their own community, but also across the United States as well. Overall, I definitely recommend this one as it is well done and very informative. So that's pretty much it for Aftershock. It's one that you kind of just have to check out. There's not really much history and kind of trivia about it. So as we move on to our bonus story, we'll talk about the wonders of Life Pavilion. So this was an attraction at Epcot at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. The focus of this pavilion was on healthcare with specific topics including the human body, physical fitness, medicine, and nutrition. In terms of the history, this was an original idea of Epcot, but Disney had a hard time finding a corporate sponsor. Eventually, MetLife came calling and signed on, and the pavilion was given the green light. It was officially announced on January 22nd, 1988, with construction beginning the following month. It would have its official opening date on October 19th, 1989. So let's dive into the pavilion and take a look at some of the attractions. So we had Cranium Command. This was a theater show that contained audio animatronic actors and a movie, and the show explained the function of the brain and the interaction with the body. We had Frontiers of Medicine, and this is where guests would listen to stories about medicine and the brain on small television. The feature attraction was Body Wars, and this was a motion simulator ride taking guests through the fantastic voyage through the heart, lungs, and brain. So the film part of the simulator was directed by Leonard Nimoy, and it starred Tim Matheson, Elizabeth Shue, and Drake Matthews. We had Coach's Corner, and this is where guests could swing a bat while a professional baseball player would give them pointers. Goofy About Health. This was a multimedia show about living healthy, hosted by Goofy and featuring classic cartoon clips. The Fitness Fairgrounds, and this is where guests tested their athletic ability. The Sensory Funhouse, and this was an interactive playground that tested guests' sensory abilities. So this included also Audio Antics, which was a listening game where guests listened to regular sounds and irregular sounds to figure out which one was which. The Making of Me. This was a short film starring Martin Short, and this talked about childbirth. Wonder Cycles. These were stationary bikes with a television attached, and the faster the guests would pedal, the faster the video played. The bikes would take them on a tour of either Disneyland, the Rose Parade, and Micro World. And then finally, there was the Anatomical Players, and this was a live improv show which featured skits on health and nutrition. So this pavilion was very, very popular, especially with Body Wars. There was huge lineups. So why did it close? So MetLife ended their sponsorship in June of 2001. This was the beginning of the slow decline of the pavilion. On June 4th, 2004, Disney made the decision to make the pavilion a seasonal attraction, which in Disney terms means the beginning of the end. Usually when an attraction goes to seasonal, it means that they're looking for something to replace it. In 2007, it was permanently closed with no reason given. And since that time, the pavilion was used as a festival center for the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. In February 2019, it was announced that the building would be retooled to include a new play pavilion, and this was originally scheduled to open in 2021, but for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. But this was delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic, and I believe it has actually been taken completely off the table. So right now, the building remains empty. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. I would invite anyone to please leave a comment on what they think of the documentary Aftershock, as well as if you've ever visited the Wonders of Life Pavilion. I would love for you to give kind of like a favorite memory or what your favorite attraction was. So as we look forward to our next episode, we're going to take a look at an animated classic as we take a look at Aladdin. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.